So the Women's Super League is back, and we're coming off the back of a summer where the hugely successful Lionesses run led to a trophy. We've now got the opportunity to watch a lot of those players go back into the Women's Super League, into their clubs, and show their stuff on the domestic stage. It's only a 12-team league, so it's actually a really small league and small season in that sense. It's 22 games for every club. It means that every point really matters. Chelsea beat Arsenal to the title last season by a single point.
Arsenal dropped their first WSL points of the season, a potentially pivotal result in the title race.
That is the point that potentially could have stopped Chelsea winning the title. So these little moments really, really matter. It's hard to look beyond Chelsea, who are back-to-back title holders, are really strengthened with the addition of Kadisha Buchanan and a few other players. The race to see whether a team can topple Chelsea is sort of the most interesting one. And then the battle for whether any team can sort of upend that top three of City, Chelsea and Arsenal, with City particularly having had a high turnover, is a really interesting one, because Manchester United have had an excellent summer of recruitment, look really good under Mark Skinner, really well organised. But then you've also got Rhiannon Skinner at Tottenham, who's done a really incredible job since she came in. Down the bottom, it's going to be really, really tough. Liverpool are the team that everyone is very, very curious about. Obviously, they're coming up from the Championship. It's a big step back up into the top division for them. So how they will sort of slot into this league is really interesting, and also makes things a lot tougher towards the bottom of the table, because there's not the obvious cannon fodder at the bottom anymore. Brilliant Juventus forward Lena Hurtig joining Arsenal. It's fantastic that Arsenal managed to keep hold of Vivian Namidama this summer after a sort of real to and fro of potential suitors coming in for her. But then you've got Beth Mead, her Arsenal teammate, who lit up the Euros for England, won the Golden Boot and the Golden Ball. Obviously, you've got the formidable front three of Pernilla Harder, Sam Kerr and Fran Kirby at Chelsea. Add Guru Wrighten to that, who is a winger with a huge amount of talent. Manchester United have made a whole host as well, obviously taking Nikita Paris from Arsenal. Natasha Harding swapping Reading for Aston Villa. They've also recruited Rachel Daly, England's very, very multi-talented, versatile player. Obviously, the Lionesses at various clubs are huge ones to keep an eye on after their heroics in the summer. It's really great to look at the managers in the Women's Super League and their development in recent years. Obviously, you've got Emma Hayes, who's fantastic. Jonas Eidevall, Arsenal's manager, I think really came into his own during the Euros when he was doing commentary on ITV. And then Lydia Bedford at Leicester City and Rhiannon Skinner at Tottenham, who came from the FA, have slotted seamlessly into running teams in the Women's Super League and have sort of put together some really, really well-developed, organised teams in a very short space of time. The Women's Super League is blessed to have a lot of female managers in it in a way that many of the other women's leagues around the world don't have. There has been a real upswing in interest. The opening game of the season had sold out prior to it being postponed. So you look at the early season ticket sales for all of the clubs in the Women's Super League, but also the Women's Championship and below that. And, they're seeing 100, 200, 300% rises on last year. So one of the great bonuses is that they're really affordable too.